Hello, boys and girls. Let me get this showing up here. I'm so sorry that I had to cancel our help session today. I had a meeting scheduled right in the middle of it. So I am making a recording. So let's jump right into what we're going to be covering today. We're going to be talking about adding and subtracting mixed numbers when we have more than one. And this is going to tie into, if you understand this, this will show me you understand adding and subtracting mixed numbers on their own as well. So let's get going. So if we had 6 and 1/3 plus 8 and 3/4 plus 7 and 1/6. What do we get? I'm going to move my camera just a little bit. So first thing we need to do is find a common denominator. So we take a look at this and I go, 3, 4, 6. I'm going to write these out here and I'm going to see if I can find a common denominator. So 3, 4, 6. So I can go, okay, 3 times 1 is 3, 4 times 1 is 4, 6 times 1 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 2 is 8, 6 times 2 is 12. No common numbers yet. 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 3 is 12, 12 times 3 is 18. And I go, 12 and 12. Can 3 go into 12? Let's think about that. 3 times 4 is 12. So my common denominator is going to be 12. So I need to turn all of these into have a common denominator of 12. So I'm going to say 3 times what gets me 12? And I think 3 times 4 is 12. So whatever I do to my denominator, I need to do to my numerator as well. So I'm going to say, okay, 3 times 4 is 12. 1 times 4 is 4. My whole number stays the same. And then I'm going to add here. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12. So I need to do the same to my numerator. 3 times 3 is 12. So my whole number will stay the same. My denominator will change to 12. My numerator is 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, now I'm going to subtract 7 and 2 times what is 12? 2, or 6 times what is 12? 2. So I need to do the same to my numerator as well. So my denominator will be 12. I'm going to go 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, so now I have common denominators. And now I think in my order of operations. Think back a couple units. And when we did add and subtract, it was add and subtract from left to right if you have both. So we have adding and subtracting. So we're just going to go left to right. So I'm going to ignore my 7 and 2/12 for a minute. I'm just going to add these together. So I'm going to start with my fractions. I'm going to go 4 plus 9 is, we'll see, that's 13 twelfths. And then I'm going to add my whole numbers. 6 plus 8 is 14. So I get 14 and 13 twelfths. That is improper, but I'm not going to bother with simplifying that yet. I'm going to wait until the end because it might come in handy to have it be a mixed number or an improper fraction. I'm going to subtract 7 and 2/12. 7 and 2/12. Okay, so now let's start with our fractions. 13 minus 2 is 11. My denominator stays the same. And then I go 14 minus 7 is 7. So then I take a look, can I simplify this at all? And I go 11 and 12. Nope, I can't simplify that. They're so close to each other, we know that they don't have any common factors. So we get an answer of 7 and 11 twelfths. So going back here, I could have changed this to 15 and 1/12, but then I would have had to borrow. Do you guys see that? If I had 1 and I had to take away 2, I would have then had to borrow and I would have still gotten a big number. So sometimes it's better to leave it not simplified until you get to the very, very end. Let's try another one. 10 and 5/6 minus 2 and 1/4 minus 3 and 4/9. So again, we're going to stop and think, common denominator. Oh my goodness. Well, let's just list out factors. So we're going to go 4, go back here. Okay, got to get my pen back. Is it letting me write? There we go. My denominators are 4, 6, 9. Okay, well, let's go and lift some out. 4 times 1 is 4, 6 times 1 is 6. 9 times 1 is 9. 4 times 2 is 8. 6 times 2 is 12. 9 times 2 is 18. 8 times 3 is, or sorry, 4 times 3 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. Ooh, 18 there. 18 times 3, and I'm going to just stop there for a moment because you see how I have two 18s here? I'm going to ask myself, okay, 4 times something, could I get 18? 4 times 4 is 16, and I go, oh man, I can't, can I? Because then I go, okay, 4 times 5 is 20. Got to keep going, I guess. Okay, 6 times 4 is 24. 9 times 3, oh goodness, is 27. Oh my gosh, we have to keep going. Okay, so let's go 4 times 6 is 24. I'm gonna have to move this. 6 times, what are we on? 5 is 30. 9 times 4 is 36. Oh my gosh, this is getting to be a really big number here. Let's just see if we can get 36 and see if that one works because we're getting really big, so I don't want to keep going on my 9s. So let's just go here. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 9, ooh, 36. I should have thought about that because 9 times 4 is 36. So 4 times 9 is 36. Let's see if we can get 36 here. Ooh, 6 times 6 is 36. We found it. So sometimes you just have to keep on going or think about those facts that you know. Use a multiplication chart if you need to. So we're going to make all these have a common denominator of 36. So we're going to go down here. So 6 times 6 is 36. So I need to do the same to my numerator. So my denominator will be 36. 5 times 6 is 30. And our whole number stays the same. I'm going to subtract 4 times, what did I just say? 9. And I need to do the same to my numerator. So 4 times 9 is 36. 1 times 9 is 9. And so we go 2 and 9, 36. And we're going to subtract 9 times 4, 4 times 4. Okay, well, our denominator will be 36. 4 times 4 is 16. And our whole number stays the same. We don't have to deal with our whole number. Okay, so now we're just going to start and go left to right because we have both subtractions. So according to order of operations, says to work from left to right in that case. So I'm going to go 10 and 36, or 30, 36 minus 2 and 9, 36. Start with our our mixed numbers. 30 minus 9 is 21. My denominator stays the same. You never, ever, 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 ever add your numerator or never, ever add your denominator or subtract your denominator when it's already a common. And then we do our whole numbers. 10 minus 2 is 8. Okay, let's subtract 3 and 16, 36. I'm going to say 3 and 16, 36. Okay, start with our fraction first. We go, okay, 21 minus 16. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, so I'm going to write it down. There we go. Well, 6 minus 1, I can't do that, so I need to borrow. I'm left with 1, and I get 11. 11 minus 6 is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. So my numerator is going to be 5. 36. And I'm going to subtract 8 minus 3 is 5. So I get 5 and 5/36. And I ask myself, can I simplify? 5, the only factors are 1 and 5. And so, no, I can't. So we are simplified. Okay, let's try another one here. Okay, 7 and 3/4 plus the quantity of 12 minus 3 and 6/11. Oh my gosh. Okay, we need a common denominator again. Well, I'm looking at this and I see I only have two fractions, 11 and 4. So I think to myself, I could just make it 44 because 4 times 11 and 11 times 4, like our boom, boom, pow method. We can kind of see them there. You guys see that? So that's going to probably be the easiest way to go. So let's make these have common denominators. I have 7. Well, I'm going to multiply that by 11, so I need to do the same to my numerator. My denominator will be 44. And my numerator, 3 times 11, 33. I'm going to add to it parentheses 12. That's not going to do anything different. Minus 3 and 6 elevenths, but I'm going to multiply by 4 to get 44. My 3 will stay the same. My denominator will be 44. 6 times 4 is 24. Okay, so now we can simplify. So when we think of our order of operations, it says to do our grouping symbols first. So we need to ignore our 7 and 33/44 and just take care of 12 minus 3 and 24/44. Oh my gosh. Well, 12 doesn't have a fraction. Let's write this vertically so we can see this a little bit better. 3, 24, 44th. We're going to subtract. So see, there's not a fraction here with my 12, so I need to make it have a fraction. So remember our fraction party. They go, hey, we need some 44ths. And they go, oh, we don't have any. So we're going to borrow from our 12. So we're going to come to 12, and we're going to say, hey, can we borrow one of you? But you need to turn it into 44ths. So we'll be left with 11, and then we're going to bring that whole over here and turn it into a fraction. Since our denominator is 44, might as well stick with 44. So we're going to have 44 44ths. That's a lot. Okay, so now we have 11 and 44 44ths. It's still the same amount. It's just written differently now. Okay, do you guys see how we can do that? So now we can simplify. 44 minus 24 is 20. And my denominator is 44. And then we go 11, because we borrowed one. Now we have 11 minus 3 is 8. I had to stop and think for a second. Okay, so we have 8 and 20/44. Now we're going to add that back in. So we have 7 and 33/44. I'm running low on time here, so I want to make sure we get this. And we're going to add 8 and 20/44. Okay, so now we can add them together. Start with our fraction. 33 plus 20 is 53/44. And then we go 7 plus 8 is 15. 15 and 53/44, but I've got a numerator larger than my denominator. So I need to take out a group of 44. And so I'm going to say, okay, how many groups of 44/44 can I take out of 53? And they go, okay, I can take out one group. And what do we have left over? Let's find out. 53 minus 44. 3 minus 4 can't do it, so I need to borrow. 13 minus 4 is 9. And then 4 minus 4 is 0. So I get 9/44. 53/44 is the same as 1 and 9/44. And then I just need to add my whole number to my 15. So I add 15 plus 1, I get 16 and 9/44. Phew, that was a lot. I have a word problem here, but we don't have time. I'm going to run out of my recording time. So watch this over and over again if you need to. Once you're ready, go down below. There are 3 questions. Show your work and how you solved it to show us how you're doing with adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.